I believe in the evil in human nature.
She wouldn't even harm a fly.
Just like I would tell you, if you're going to do something, do it well. And leave something witchy. Leave a sign to let the world know that you were there.
Movies don't create psychos. Movies make psychos more creative.
Welcome to Undercover Coven, everybody.
Hello.
Hi. We're here again because, unfortunately, we recorded last night, and it didn't up. I mean, Ali had a problem with her audio.
You know what? I'm just gonna invest on a recorder soon, because
Same.
it's always on my side. Guys, don't buy an iPhone 8. I spend the money on whatever else. It's
On
just
a
been nothing but
recorder.
problems.
On a
Anyways,
recorder.
so yeah, we had a guest yesterday, and it was really fun to record, and then unfortunately it didn't come out. And so now we have a new guest.
Yes, yesterday's guest was Ariane. Thank you, Ariane. We're gonna have you back again soon. Today's guest is Jan, my boyfriend. Yay!
Hello there. Now you have to settle with me. I'm the second best thing they have, but I'll try to help.
Yay, thank you.
Yay! So, Jan is my boyfriend, and we've been together for almost 8 years. That's it.
Cue the applause right now.
Yeah.
Or the...
At this point, it's just almost 8 years. We don't count. It's just like
There's no months.
yeah.
It's just whatever.
You guys are gonna be like, just like 15 years together? Yeah, we've been together for 8 years.
Yeah. Just like that.
I think.
I don't know. Okay, so
Let's do shoutouts and updates.
oh yeah, shoutouts. So the first one was the Dark Rose podcast. Remember?
Yes. So they posted a picture of our Stalker episode, and then they shouted us out. So thank you so much.
Thank
we
you.
love that, and you guys rock.
Yay!
Thank you so much.
The second one is what's
Kills
the
and
second one?
Chills.
Oh, Kills and Chills. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kills and Chills is so funny, and those girls are very they're great. And so if you can, go listen to them too. And People Keep Dying as well.
Yes.
They're very informative
Definitely,
and
yeah.
very
Cue
funny.
all of them in your listens.
Yes,
Go listen to them.
You
I
won't.
don't know.
You won't regret it. And then I wanted to shout out a person who gave us a review. Wait. It says, the title is Awesome True Crime. The girls are so cute to listen to, and I love listening to their creepy, freaky stories. From Angela. So thank you so much, Angela. That was
Thank
very
you.
sweet of you.
Go,
Cue the
Angela.
applause here.
Angela's awesome. I don't know who you are, but you're awesome. Thank you.
You're awesome. Oh my god, what the fuck was that?
You're awesome.
Everything is
Wow. That pitch though.
By the way, this is how we record, always.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah,
can
you
dig
don't
it,
listen
yeah.
to us.
Yeah, I do, but
Well, yeah, Paula cuts off a lot of parts.
for the better, I guess.
What was that? Oh, updates. John Hinckley Jr. that we talked about last episode about stalkers, that he was the Jodie Foster stalker, the one who tried to kill Ronald Reagan. He got out last week.
Yep.
That's unsettling.
It is, but we need
Yeah.
him. We need him, so I hope he's ready to go back to jail.
So I told Paula because I found out on Twitter because somebody retweeted the CNN news of him getting released. And they said, they retweeted with a comment, and they were like, I hope he's ready to go back now because we need him again.
Yeah.
And I can't find the tweet.
I can't find it either. I saw it also, and then I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know, it disappeared. Maybe they took it out.
Maybe they took it down. Maybe Donald Trump blocked him. Because that's his favorite thing to do, apparently.
And say hamburgers. Did you see that?
The one?
He said,
Oh my God.
No, but he ordered the whole McDonald's thing, and then he
It was
tweeted
Wendy's, McDonald's, and KFC, no?
Yeah, and pizza. And
And
he when he tweeted about it, instead of saying hamburgers, he said hamburgers.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Hamburgers.
Wow.
You also had a Nexium update that I didn't know about. That
Yes.
was very scary.
So the trials were supposed to start on March 18th, I think, and they got delayed another month because the Harris, so the girl that we're talking about, Claire Bronfman, I think is her name.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might be saying her last name wrong, but the daughter of the very rich Canadian guy. So she is standing trial, I think, because of you said fraud, right?
Yeah, fraud.
Yeah. So now she wanted to separate the trials because she doesn't want to stand trial with Allison
Mack.
and Keith because they're alleged sex offenders, and she doesn't want to stand trial with them because she had nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
And so they're giving them another month to investigate and see if they can separate the trials. So the trials are going to start in April instead.
Yeah,
So
because
then we'll do another episode.
it'll be really bad if she goes to trial with sex offenders.
Yeah, when she honestly didn't have anything to do. She was... I mean...
She was giving Keith money, that's it. But she
Yeah,
wasn't
that was
like...
it.
She wasn't like branding women and having
No,
sex cult.
What the fuck? Didn't she? So back in December, there was another update which we didn't talk about because I didn't know. My sister kind of told me. When was it? Maybe last week. So, and then you mentioned it that Allison Mack, like on preliminary trials or whatever, she was saying how if Nexium was gonna be like taken to trial or like sued or whatever, then Scientology should too, because I'm like, what the fuck? They had nothing to do. Like, they're not hurting people like you guys were. So yeah,
Allison Mack
fucking crazy.
Branded women.
Like cows?
Physically.
Yeah.
With,
Yeah,
But like the steel, the
Yeah.
hot thing? Damn.
And the hip. And Nexium is a sex cult.
Oh, that's kinky.
It's not
I
kinky.
mean, not kinky, but, like,
I mean,
you have to get in their minds, but yeah, that's practical. I don't know.
yeah, it's very bad.
It's
but
very bad.
In a way, yeah. Can
Okay.
imagine.
So today's case is one that Ale didn't know about, but now she does.
now I do.
Yeah, she does, but it was still surprising because basically I told her the name of the guy, but she didn't. I told her not to Google it.
Yeah,
But unfortunately...
and it killed me the entire week not to Google it.
Yeah. But unfortunately, now she knows, but I don't think it's any less big. Like, it's still a
Yeah.
big case, and it's still interesting.
Yeah,
So...
I'll still ooh and ah as if I didn't know.
Now John can, because he doesn't know a lot about it.
Ooh,
I don't know anything.
So you can say, ooh, ah.
I can act surprised.
Yes.
Shocked.
yay!
And you can help me with the Soviet Union thing.
Oh, see, this is full circle because our guest yesterday, she did know about it, and I was the only one who didn't know. So now we both know about it, and you don't know.
You don't know. Ooh, that's cool.
Seems fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So today's case is Anatoly Moskvin. I don't want to say his second name because Yurevich.
Yurevich.
Anatoly Yurevich Moskvin, the doll master.
What?
The doll master.
Doll master.
Yes.
That.
Please don't
Okay.
read my script.
No, I know, but I'm just looking at the name, like you say, right? Yurevich.
Yurevich.
Okay.
So he's the doll master. Why is he the doll master? Why?
Why?
Anatoly Moskvin was born September 1st, 1966. And as I mentioned before, my mom was born September 9th, 1966. So that's a coincidence. He was born in Gorky, Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic in the Soviet Union. And I don't know what that is. He explained it to me before, but I still don't know what that is.
It's gonna take many tries, but I'll keep on.
Yeah.
I'll insist. Yeah, don't worry. I'll get it.
So
It's
what is
Russia.
the Soviet Union? Did you have like a short answer for it?
Yeah, basically, Russia was a thing before, like the big country, but so many other neighbor countries. Can I say that?
Yes.
Neighbor countries sounds good.
Yep.
Adjacent to Russia, and they formed the USSR as the Soviet Union, but everyone knew that Russia was the big thing. All these people from these other countries, they refer to them as Russians. So after the Soviet Union fell down, or it was closed, whatever you want to call it, some of these countries remained as Russia, and some others stayed out, like Ukraine. So like something like that. But still, it's the same grounds, the same country, same language.
That's why Russia's so big.
Yeah, they Big Daddy, or the motherland as they call themselves.
Yeah.
It's just...
Did you say Big Daddy?
It was the Big Daddy of the Soviet Union. Imagine, like, if the United States were, like, separate countries put together, it would be like, I don't know, what's the biggest state, which is...
the biggest state?
Yeah.
Texas?
Yeah, it's something like that, but on a bigger scale.
Creepy. You know that I actually understand that a lot more now. Okay, anyway, Anatoly Moskvin...
Thank you, I actually didn't know that, but okay.
Anatoly Moskvin is the doll master, and he was arrested in 2011 after the bodies of 26 mummified girls were discovered in his home.
How many?
26.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm going to cite my sources for today. It's The Telegraph. It's certain Russian papers that I had to translate with Google. Video interviews, and his own accounts from books and reports. So here we go. How did all this happen? Let's start. Get ready. Put on your thing.
Okay.
Your thing?
Your thing, I don't know.
Thing? Yeah, that
I was gonna say detective hat, but then we're not actually, like, investigating anything. Put on your... It's not a conspiracy theory. Put on your crime hats. No,
Yes.
Put on your creepy hats on.
Creepy
I don't
hats.
fucking know.
It's a creepy hat.
Creepy hats.
A hat that is creepy. Anatoly is a Russian academic and linguist who resided in Nizhny Novgorod, Russia. He began going to cemeteries with friends after school when he was a boy starting in 7th grade. He stated, quote, "Since then, I went there like a magnet. It seems to me that nobody knows them better than me in the city. By the year 2000, I had studied all the city cemeteries and many district cemeteries as well." That's from an interview in 2007. Okay, so he averaged 30 kilometers or 18.6 miles a day on foot, walking from cemetery to cemetery to study them. And between 2005 and 2007, he had inspected 752 cemeteries across the region. That's commitment. Yeah, we'll get to that a little later. Yeah. He explained that his fascination for the dead began when he was 12 years old after he witnessed the funeral for an 11-year-old girl. Before his arrest, he wrote a piece from a publication on necrology to explain his interest in the dead. He said, quote, "An adult pushed my face down to the waxy forehead of the girl in an embroidered cap, and there was nothing I could do but kiss her as ordered."
That's so wrong.
It is. He graduated...
Especially because I asked this yesterday, and I asked, okay, but maybe it's like a, I said costumes or something like that? Like
no,
something
we were theorizing that it was like a sign of respect.
Like maybe it's like a cultural thing or maybe like a family thing, but then this girl wasn't like family with him or anything.
She was just like a random girl.
No, you just don't do that,
no. He graduated from the Philological Faculty of Moscow State University. Philological is the study of language. It's defined as the study of literary texts as well as oral and written records. His main area of academic interest were Celtic history and folklore, as well as languages and linguistics. Yeah, it's very badass. It's very creepy as well. Moskvin became a lecturer in Celtic studies in the Nizhny Novgorod Linguistic University and had previously worked at the Institute of Foreign Languages. He was a polyglot. Remember, we didn't know what that was. Ariana was like, what is that? Meaning he could understand, speak, read, and write multiple languages. And to be exact, 13. 13 languages.
That's amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
He wrote and published several books, papers, and translations that were very well known in academic circles. Moskvin also occasionally worked as a journalist and regularly contributed to newspapers. As we know, Moskvin had a deep fascination with cemeteries, burial rituals, death, and the occult. He went on to describe himself as a necropolist and was considered an expert on local cemeteries in the Nizhny Novgorod region. His fascinations with... Yes?
Yesterday I wanted to mention, because we were like, I don't think that word, the necropolist, exists.
No, he invented it.
But he invented it. But the only thing I can think of, like, the translation for that would be like a necro person, like a person who is of the dead. I don't know. You know, like a metropolist. Like, metropolis means city. And then...
Necropolist.
A metropolist would be somebody who is of the city, or like, you know, like a city person.
Mm-hmm.
If
like,
that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's like of the dead. Yeah, I like that.
Which is, it's crazy. I don't know. He was very smart. He was a fucking genius, so
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
His fascination with cemeteries was hard. He said he would drink from puddles, sleep in coffins, or in cemeteries. He was often questioned by police, but he was let go every time. So basically, to investigate, he would stay there all night and things like that. He didn't have any food, so he would just, like, for example, there was a story that he stayed in a funeral home, and they had a coffin ready for the funeral next day, and he stayed in that coffin. Things like that.
Wow.
He kept a personal library of over 60,000 books and documents, as well as a large collection of dolls. He was described by fellow academics as a genius and an eccentric. Moskvin led a very secluded life. He never dated and never got married. He preferred to live with his parents that were very elderly at the time. He also abstained from drinking alcohol and smoking and is allegedly a virgin. In 2016, it was reported that Moskvin was going to marry a 25-year-old native of his hometown that attended his trial. But I don't think that's true, like very true, to be honest. And plus, right now he's 52.
He's still young.
Yeah, he's still young, but he's in a hospital.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, I don't think... Yeah. We've heard about, like, fucking serial killers who are not charmers, because Ted Bundy is a different story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, getting married. And
Charles Manson was about to get married before he died. The girl was our age. She was going to marry Marilyn Manson. Charles Manson.
That's called
that too.
Having a problem.
Yeah. But apparently she wanted to collect his body and display him in a museum.
So she wanted to get rich?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's being smart.
Okay, that's being smart.
Okay,
Who's still alive right now?
That we know of, the Golden State Killer. Your chance.
Paula.
Your chance.
It's my chance.
Go for it.
Okay, Moskvin was arrested on November 2nd, 2011 by police investigators because of grave desecrations in cemeteries in and around the Nizhny Novgorod region. Moskvin was detained at a cemetery while carrying a bag of bones. The police discovered 26 bodies. It was initially reported as 29. There were 26 bodies in Moskvin's home and garage. His apartment was not only full of often life-size, meticulously, brightly dressed dolls, but also toys, books, and clothing that were meant for children, even though the man had no kids. And there was an undefinable yet unpleasant smell permeating the air of the abode. Ew.
Disgusting.
There are videos released by police that show the bodies seated on shelves and sofas in small rooms that were full of books, papers, and clutter. Although 26 bodies were actually found, Moskvin is suspected of desecrating as many as 150 graves after police found numerous grave accoutrements such as metal nameplates removed from headstones. There were also numerous photos and videos depicting open graves and disinterred bodies, and it was all pretty damning evidence that not only Moskvin had been behind the grave robberies, but that he also had crafted the bodies into freaky dolls set up around his home. These bodies were not found decomposing, though, and because of this, the dolls were mummified. I mean, the bodies were mummified and transformed into dolls, and he became known in Russia as the doll master. Anatoly Moskvin would exhume young girls from local graves between the ages of 3 and 12. So they were small. That's what we were talking about as well.
Yeah.
Ale thought they were like big adult dolls.
So that's what I imagined at first. Sorry. That's what I imagined at first, because I'm just thinking of, okay, imagine being like friends or acquaintances with this guy, and by chance you just end up going to his house one time, and you just like walk in, and there's like this life-size, let's say, like tall as Paula, just sitting there like a doll. Wouldn't that like spark up like, okay, what the fuck? But then, like, okay, what would you think if you see that?
Well, it depends. So, how many of these were there on display? Like
26.
what? All of them?
All of them.
Oh, so he doesn't like store some of them in maybe a basement or.
He had some in a garage, but it was the least amount.
I'm assuming he has like maybe a favorite.
No.
A top 5.
They're all his favorite.
They're all his favorite. Yeah, we're gonna get into that in a second because he actually talked about like favorites and stuff like that,
and why he did that and how he do it. But then when Paula said that there were like 3 to 12. I just imagine like young girls now, so it's different because people does like if you've seen the movie Annabelle, that type of dolls which are like 4 feet tall, so it's not as concerning. Like I would be like, yeah, this guy's fucking creepy because why would you have that in your house? But there is people who collect dolls that big, so
yeah, like the Annabelle doll is like what we assumed it was the size of a doll he had. The Annabelle doll is like one you can carry like this.
Yeah, so it's not completely insane, but still.
Anyway, Annabelle doll, that size. That's how we assumed. That's how big we assumed the dolls were. Okay, so how did he do this? First, he would sleep on graves, see if he could feel contact or not. If he did, he would dig them up. Although eventually he just dug up a bunch of girls. To see why there was contact with some girls and why not with others. The ones he really liked, he dried and brought home. He would dry them by hiding them in cemeteries, and later he would use cloths and a mix of salt and baking soda to mummify the bodies. He would pour these contents in a bag where the body was and would change the bag every single week. He stated that moisture had a very negative effect on bodies, so he would cover them with cellophane as well. Afterwards, he wrapped the body in different clothes, put them in a backpack, and took them home. Within 2 days of bringing them home, he would restore the body, stuffing rags inside and sewing the body and making a wax mask on their face. What he would do would pour wax from candles onto the face and then cover it with nail polish. After that, he wrapped the body in tights and put on her clothes. Inside the bodies, he would put in a toy, like in the rib cage especially. He would put in a toy, a monument, or a music box or things like that, including once a dried out heart. It was very random, like there was no reason or rhyme to like what he was doing. And he would also take body parts from other bodies and mix and match sewing them on. Like for example, if he had to crack open a skull, he would like get another piece of skull and then like put it together. When he brought them home, he would communicate with them. They did things together, and there was a hierarchy within the group. They did. Why are you laughing?
Are you picturing it?
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds fun.
I'm just imagining, like it's 26 kids. Imagine like a classroom full of girls.
Yeah,
there's cliques. There's like
the popular ones, the nerds.
Yeah, the nerds. Not the nerds, but like, the bookish girls. There's like, the other one. I don't fucking know, the sporty girls. That's what I imagined. That he imagined in his mind.
Maybe. They had their own songs, their own language, and their own holidays and birthdays. Moskvin would also sleep with dolls sometimes. But it was never like a sexual thing. It was like literally just sleeping with them to keep him company, or keep the dolls company. Fun fact! He would drill holes in their eyes so they could watch cartoons and TV.
Well, of course. How else?
Yeah.
I mean, he said that he never vandalized. He said that he never vandalized, mutilated, or broke anything, and always treated the children in a respectful, caring manner, claiming that he tried not to swear because you can't swear in front of children, especially little girls.
My heart.
Oh. That makes it even creepier.
See, this is why I wanted him on the show. Because we see it in a very sad way, but he just sees it like, this guy's sick. And I think that's very interesting.
Yeah, but I'll elaborate later.
Yeah, you can elaborate later. He then talks about how he always felt lonely, especially when his parents left and took the family cat. He then talks about how he drilled holes... Oh, I said that. He talks about how he drilled holes for the eyes and would turn on cartoons and would sing children's songs for the bodies and would even offer them food, just like in old Celtic and Yakut cultures. That's why I said that the Celtics, it was like very metal, but creepy as well. He claims this was to get ready to be a parent, and he treated the bodies as he would live children because they were only temporarily dead. We're gonna get into that in a little bit. So you say, like, where were the parents? Where were the parents in this whole situation if he was living with them?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because also they mentioned that they were very elderly.
Yeah. This was like a 30-year-old dude. 40
yeah, well, I guess he started, yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. The parents never saw anything because they would leave the house in April and come back in October. When they were home, they didn't smell anything, and they just thought the dolls were kind of scary. But according to Moskvin, he told his parents that he was basically restoring dolls and just doing that, and there was like never enough paint to restore them completely. So they would see the dolls, but they would just think that he was restoring.
That's
a good
way.
If you think about it, they were gone for a long time, though.
Yeah.
It's believable.
It's believable.
Yeah.
But the smell, okay.
Listen, old people, they probably didn't even have, like, the people start losing their
sense of smell.
Like how people lose their vision, they
Yeah.
could, like, lost their smell. Like,
And plus,
what's it called? Sense of smell?
the vodka in Russia is very strong.
The vodka's strong.
Okay, so let's recall that Moskvin's great desire was to have a child. He wanted to have a little girl, but the guardianship authorities did not allow an orphan to be adopted by him, and his parents didn't allow it either. He was like, no, you're crazy. Fascinated by the history of human burials, it occurred to the man to try to resurrect the spirit of a dead child, as it was done in various cultures at the dawn of civilization. The inquisitive brain of a scientist prompted everything new until Moskvin hit the extreme and simply began to pull out bodies from the graves. Here's what he said after his first experience. Quote, "One of the bodies seized in my apartment belongs to a girl killed in August 2002 in the Kanavinsky district. She was buried in the cemetery Red Etna at the age of 12. In May 2003, I had a fight with my parents because they did not give me the blessing to adopt a girl from an orphanage. Then I told my mother that I would engage in black magic and get in touch with the spirits of dead children, mummify their bodies, and keep them at home. Mother replied in her heart to do what I wanted. I was very upset and went for a walk through the cemetery Red Etna to calm down. On the same day, I discovered the inconspicuous grave of a girl, and I decided to dig it out." So he told her mother.
His mother.
Oh.
His mother. But she didn't believe him. She was like, okay, whatever.
So technically, this is what I was saying yesterday, the irony of it is that he didn't lie. I mean, he did tell her what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Technically.
Technically. I mean, there's no lie. Okay, so a brief timeline of events regarding his arrest. The commencement of the criminal proceedings against Anatoly Moskvin in the Nizhny Novgorod on the charges of desecration of bodies of the dead and their burial sites began in the Leninsky District Court on January 22, 2012. In May 2012, he was recognized by the court as being mentally ill and was diagnosed as a paranoid schizophrenic. Currently, he is undergoing treatment in a psychiatric hospital. Thanks to his mental illness, he was released from criminal liability. So basically, the court found that he did nothing wrong because of his mental illness, like he didn't know what he was doing. His treatment was extended to February 2013, April 2014, and July 2015. A spokesman stated, quote, "After 3 years of monitoring him in a psychiatric clinic, it is absolutely clear that Moskvin is not mentally fit for trial. He will therefore be kept for psychiatric treatment at the clinic." As of 2016, every request for the extension of Moskvin's treatment has been approved. So nobody wants him to get out of the clinic. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to end on a various amount of quotes that he said regarding what he did. So, for example, why, in an interview during his trial, he was asked why he committed these crimes. And he said, "I did not store the corpses, but kept the bodies. The fact that I am engaged in black magic. Therefore, I wanted to revive these children and I felt sorry for these children who could still live. Therefore, I kept them so that when science learns to fight cancer, they can revive them later, as genetics is developing now at a very active pace. Solely for this, I feel sorry for all these children. When asked if he knew he was committing a crime, he said, "Yes, of course, I knew from the very beginning that I was committing a crime, but I was so sorry for the children that unfortunately, cloning was prohibited in our country. Sooner or later, it will be allowed. I just wanted some material for future cloning. Accordingly, so these children could still live for the second time. Since I felt very sorry for these children. Yes, naturally, every time I dug something up, I would level the grave as to not disturb those relatives who would go see them. In addition, I communicated with spirits because I found a loophole for contact with the world. Therefore, I communicated with spirits of these children and received information from them." When asked what he did at home, he stated, At home, I talked with them. We had a squad. There was a leader. There was an anti-leader, respectively, and we had a hierarchy in our own language. We had our own songs, and we had our own holidays, and we had our own, as they say, inner world." Anatoly Moskvin, 52, admitted to the horrific crimes in court, where he told the distraught parents, "You abandoned your girls. I brought them home and warmed them up." The end.
Yeah. It's just a lot to take in.
It's a lot.
Yeah. We talked about this before, but it is I think the way that I see it, he knew he was doing something wrong because he knew that was illegal. You shouldn't be desecrating graves. But at the same time, in his heart, he was doing something right for them. Because all he did was treat them with respect. Like, he wasn't, it was not like he was, like, desecrating graves and then, like, you know, abusing the bodies and then just throwing them or whatever. Like, keeping them for like, dubious or malicious purposes. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's why we were talking that this is, like Ariane said, this is, like, the point between something really, like, evil, like, you're not supposed to do this, like, an illegal thing, but it's also very sad, so you kind of understand it, but you wouldn't actually do it.
I don't know if understanding that, it's just sick mind, but the first time when you introduced me to the story, I thought it was more of a psycho, like, he liked the graves, the cemetery, and taking these bodies. But as you went along, I realized this was just more about I want to have these little kids in a way of speaking, and it reminded me of that country. I don't know if it's a whole country or a tribe or a town. I can't remember the name, but when the people die, they keep them for weeks, and they prepare them and they put this, I don't know, these ornaments and things, and they bury them. It's like a celebration. And then when it's like a year from their death or whatever, they dig them up again.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it's like a celebration and a thing, and I don't know, maybe it's just a cultural thing, but I don't know, it's still creepy as fuck. I can't get along with it.
No, for sure. I mean, it is fucking creepy. He was very mentally ill, and I think it's because he was so smart that he kind of like went crazy a little bit because he was so smart, and he knew a lot. And I think that's because the whole thing of like, okay, so he studied Celtic studies and history and all that, so he knew about like black magic, and so I think his mind, like the fact that he was so smart was like also his enemy, like it was bad for him. But it's still sad to know that he didn't do it for a bad, he was just very empathetic. The fact that he was going into like the cemeteries and lying down and like connecting with the spirits or whatever, and then he thinking that these girls were talking to him and like making him feel of what they needed, what they wanted. You know, their likes, their personalities. He was very empathetic.
Yeah, and so for example, the thing that I said that he would put like a toy or a monument in the rib cage. For example, he put a music box in the rib cage of a girl because apparently she wanted to sing. That's what she told him.
You said that. Yeah,
and I thought, and that like really broke my heart.
Yeah.
And he just wanted to give him like, he just wanted the girls to feel comfortable and stuff. And that, I think that's kind of, that's sad.
It is sad. He was just very lonely.
Yeah. And like you said yesterday, like if he's in a hospital, like I hope he has a friend.
That's adorable.
Yeah. I
We
hope
hope
he
he
has
has-
a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe. So,
But also, I hope he never gets released, because didn't he say that if he were to be released, he would just go back and start doing it all over again?
Of course, yeah. He did say that.
yeah, keep him there just for safety.
Yeah.
But what about all these people that looked at him like a mentor of, I don't know if where he studied, he got a degree, he was influential. Like any of those people, like maybe reach out to him.
Okay, so apparently he didn't have friends, but he did have like a lot of acquaintances and colleagues because of his job. And nobody could believe that this had happened. Like everybody was shocked when they heard the news.
Yeah, but it was okay. Yeah, so he never dated. His parents did not speak to him. Whatever, he had no friends, but he worked. He studied. He had people, like maybe not friends, but
Around him.
He had people around him. Not a single party. You know, he invited him to his house. Like maybe a little sign something was going wrong. Nobody could pick up on that.
I don't know. They called him a genius
vodka,
and
man.
an eccentric. The vodka, dude. They called him an eccentric. Maybe he had like certain ideals, but I don't think anybody was like, "Oh, he's gonna kill somebody one day." I don't think anybody actually said that.
Not to that point, but maybe it's something's a little fishy.
Yeah. No, I do agree with that. That's what I mean when I'm saying, okay, yeah, I understand the whole, like, the way that I was picturing the dolls is that, like, there's no way that nobody was like, maybe, you know, at one point or another, they were like, maybe this is a little weird. Like, this is, you know.
Mm-hmm. Did you look at the pictures?
I didn't, no.
Okay, you have to look at the pictures.
Yeah.
I'll show you pictures also.
I don't want to. I'm just.
There's videos. Because the police released videos, like when they went into his house to investigate, all that is released. And you have to look at the translated versions, but everything is like I said yesterday, for example, we're on camera right now, and it's like I had dolls here, and they're all bodies. Are you looking at pictures?
No, I'm looking for something else.
Oh, okay. He's like on Google, and I'm like, what?
I want to know what he looks like, because I also didn't Google that. Well, if I would have Googled his name, I'm pretty sure I would have seen the dolls, too.
Yeah. He has, you know, Heaven's Gate, the cult?
Yes. Oh, my God.
The one with the aliens?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you remember the guy, the leader? The one with the crazy big eyes?
Don't tell me it looks like him.
He does.
You know that I'm terrified of him, right?
Yeah. I know. But he has like this look that is like, he has like his wide eyes, and he's just like always staring, and he has like these really blue eyes. So they just look even bigger. It's creepy.
I don't like that.
No, but it's sad, you know, it's like...
Yeah.
But we said yesterday, you know, that is commitment. It's love for what you're doing. It's love.
Yes.
Should have gotten a couple of pets. Maybe, I don't know, this... what was the Chuck Testa thing with the animals, like...
Taxidermy.
Taxidermy,
yeah. Oh my God.
Whoa.
You know...
Stick to that, like... He would
have been, like, rich if he was that dedicated and he started doing that. Or, like, be a mortician.
Yeah.
Dude,
thing.
that's a good idea. But let's
would've
not
been the best of the
forget.
best.
Let's not forget Norman Bates. Norman Bates was a taxidermist. He ended up killing people. Norman Bates isn't real, but it's an example.
True.
No, but yeah, like, can't you feel that connection with your pet as well?
You know, my sister wants to once her dog Fifi dies, she wants to stuff her. I'm like, you're fucking crazy. I'm never gonna visit you again. She's like, oh, but I'll just like stuff her like she's like laying down in a good curl up. I'm like, no.
Dude, red flag there. No, just
I'm like, don't.
You know
Just
her.
don't.
You know her sister's name, right?
Ale too? I don't know.
Paula.
Yeah. I know.
Ale too.
You don't
Now I
remember my
remember.
sister? We all went to the same school together.
But
Oh
I
yeah, that's a good thing to add. We all went to the same school
But
together.
I never actually met her. Like, hello.
That's her name.
Oh, hi, Paula. She's listening.
Oh yeah, hi Paula.
Él ya no se acuerda de ti.
Kind of.
I honestly don't think she remembers him that much either, so that's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's
But
fine.
basically, if
It's
you want to
okay.
remember that face, it's the same face.
Oh yeah, they're very look-alike. Yeah.
Yeah, look
Yeah,
alike.
no.
Yeah, that's Anatoly Moskvin.
Lovely
Yeah.
guy.
What did we say yesterday?
Lovely guy. We should give him a call, send him a letter. We should be friends. Okay, no.
When we were talking about commitment, we were like, be this level of committed to what you want to do. Never to this level, but put passion in what you love. That's the lesson.
Find the
for
middle
today.
ground. Find the middle ground between these guy,
This dude.
these guy. Fucking
Oh my god.
Find the middle ground between this guy and Antares de la Luz.
Yes.
Like, don't be that passionate. Also, don't be that fucking
Mediocre.
Mediocre.
Yes.
Like, right in the middle.
Right in the middle, But
But
I
if you're
remember. But if you're gonna do a cult, do it right.
Do it right.
Aspire to be a good cult leader. Put some commitment in it. We had said something yesterday, but I don't remember what it was. I'm gonna look for it in the other. We had come up with like a phrase. We were like, work hard, but don't do it. Something like that. We were like, but don't kill anybody. It was like something like that. Yeah. So anything else?
I think, no.
I think no. Do you want to add anything else?
I'm just thinking. Obviously, you know a lot of. Yeah, you don't know, but you research into all these creepy dudes, killers.
True crime, yes.
There's all kinds of stuff. This is one of those guys that you may want to have a conversation with. He's interesting. He's not really dangerous. So I don't know. Maybe just try to get more his side, his view, what's going on inside his mind.
Yeah.
And he's not going to stab you mid-interview. Like, he's not going to go crazy.
True.
I don't know. I just
True.
got me curious. Maybe.
No, it's true. Cause
Maybe
it's not...
maybe we should go to Russia and go to the hospital.
You'll freeze. You can.
Road trip. Road trip.
Road trip.
So what are you doing for summer? Oh, we're in Russia to talk to
We're going to Russia.
the doll master. No, but that's a good point. Like, that's what we also said yesterday. It was something like that we research like killers and stuff, and if you look at it, you look at this case, it's totally different because you understand it. In air quotes,
You understand a part of it.
Yeah.
you would
But you
never
also-
do it.
You will never do it, but you kind of get it. But at the same time, it's like, maybe you shouldn't, but I kind of get it why he did it.
Like Ariane said yesterday, she was like, let's not like have copycats and things like that doing it, but
Yeah.
let me mention that this guy was an expert at cemeteries, and like nobody's ever gonna do this. And you have to have a
No.
big stomach for things like this. So
He's a
for sure.
professional.
oh, he's a professional.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hope he
Anything else?
never writes a how-to book.
Ooh.
I hope he does.
Of
course we do.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. We're gonna be talking about Jan in like a couple of years
Can you
Now
give us
episode.
permission to talk about you when you commit a crime?
If I ever go crazy and murder all the people that buy French cars, I'll
Oh my god.
you get permission. I don't know. You get the exclusive. You know.
Awesome. Thank
Cue the
you.
applause now.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah.
This is our second exclusive that we're granted.
Yeah. We also talked to a girl who just got engaged and she does true crime podcast.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, she's gonna kill her husband one day. So we asked her for permission to
To do an episode on her, and she's like, absolutely.
yeah.
You sound like you're waiting for it.
We are.
It's
We
just-
are.
yeah, like- okay.
Shout out to the Woods podcast.
Woo, Sandy from the Woods podcast. Yeah, so that's Anatoly Moskvin and the Doll Master and Russia and weird shit from Russia, man. People from
Yeah.
Russia just can't do normal things, can they?
I mean, it's go big or go home.
Yeah, true.
To the vodka. I don't fucking know.
Okay, social media.
Yes.
Social media. Yes,
We have
you can,
that.
Yes, we
That's
have social
something we
media.
do.
You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at undercovercommon and leave us a comment or whatever you want. Leave us a
Or
thing.
send us an email also at undercovercoven@gmail.com. And please, we'd love to hear from you. And
Rate,
your
review, and
stories,
subscribe. Tell
reviews.
us things. Did you know about this? Are you interested in something like this? You know,
If you
what
are,
do you think?
please talk to a therapist.
If you're gonna murder somebody, please go to therapy. There's nothing wrong with medication. Just do it.
Do you have any dolls laying around?
Creepy. That's creepy.
Also talk to a therapist if you do.
That's very creepy. And yeah, thanks, Dan, for being part of the podcast and having.
Did you call me Stan?
I called you John. Why would I call you Stan?
I don't know. Sounded like Stan, but I don't know. My name does
Can we
not
call you
sound good
Stan
in
from
English.
now on?
Oh fuck! So I'm Stan. All I think of is Stan from South Park. So it doesn't work for me. I don't know. Just.
Hey, he's one of the least worst characters, okay?
Okay,
Think
I'll
about
take
it.
it. I'll take it.
Take that, like, we could have been calling you, like, Carmen or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I
Carmen.
know.
Or Steve.
Who's Steve?
You always call people Steve. I'm like, oh, remember that guy from It? You know, Steve? And I'm like, there's no Steve in It.
I thought there was. He had Steve face. I don't know.
Okay, everybody, have a great week because it's Monday, so yay. Have a great week and thank you for being on our podcast and have a great week, everybody.
Thank you for inviting.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Do I have to cut?
No, you don't have to clap.